This ends now!
Welcome back everyone, it is Amelia. I hope you are fine. X-Men 97's Jean Grey twist raises even more questions with episode 3's reveal, especially regarding the original animated series timeline. Jean Grey's whole life has changed in X-Men 97 episode 3, Fire Made Flesh, and the details of this tragic event might only make it worse for the Marvel hero. X-Men 97 episode 2's ending introduced a second Jean Grey, leaving the X-Men with a huge mystery in their hands. After Professor X's death in X-Men, the animated series, Magneto's apparent redemption, and Storm's department, the X-Men are stretched thin. Things only seem to get worse with the birth of a new villain and the return of another. But answers might begin to appear when subtle clues come to light. X-Men 97 episode 3 features the birth of the Goblin Queen, the moniker Jean Grey's clone adopts when she realizes that all her memories before her baby, Cyclops' mutant son Nathan Summers, are false. It also brings back a longtime X-Men villain, Mr. Sinister, who not only encourages Jean Grey's clone to give in to her dark impulses but also torments the X-Men with nightmarish illusions. It's clear that Mr. Sinister is behind Jean Grey and her clone's identity problems, but the question of how and when he created the clone is left open. X-Men 97 episode 3 doesn't state when exactly Mr. Sinister replaced the real Jean Grey with a clone, setting up a frustrating mystery for both Jean Grey's, Cyclops, and the rest of the X-Men, as none of them will know who they have been interacting with and for how long unless Mr. Sinister himself reveals the truth. However, what's for certain is that the clone, who names herself Madeline Pryor after coming to terms with her cloned nature, is the person who gave birth to Nathan Summers. Taking Nathan Summers' birth into account, Madeline Pryor must have replaced Jean Grey at least a little before Nathan's conception 9 months before the events of X-Men 97 episode 3. This tidbit may suggest that X-Men, the animated series' first 2 episodes hold the answer. In X-Men, the animated series season 2, episode 2, Till Death Do Us Part 2, Mr. Sinister kidnaps Cyclops and Jean Grey as they head to their honeymoon, but the X-Men arrive just in time to stop the villain from stealing the couple's genetic material. Cyclops and Jean Grey seemingly return safe and sound with the X-Men, but Mr. Sinister may have had enough time to swap Jean Grey with a clone. However, X-Men, the animated series season 4's 4-part final, Beyond Good and Evil, is key, as Cyclops and Jean's second attempt to have time for themselves is even more likely to have resulted in Jean's replacement. In the 1995 final's first episode, Mr. Sinister's henchmen, the Nasty Boys, kidnap Jean, leaving Cyclops wondering why they didn't take him also. This part of the timeline leaves more room for Nathan Summers to be conceived. Give me some ideas related to my video in comments on below if you like this video and subs for more upcoming videos.